And I also hope that you are having an amazing day so far. All right, so today we are doing our grade 3 English lesson on homophones. So we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on homophones. And before we start with our English lesson on homophones, we are going to log in to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as your password, and then you're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 3. All right, so once we have selected the subject of language arts, grade 3, then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of homophones. Under the chapter of homophones, we are going to be focusing on the lessons of homophones with pictures, identify homophones, and to use the correct homophones. All right, so this is our chapter, which is homophones, grade 3, and we're doing homophones with pictures, identify homophones, and to use the correct homophones. And today we are doing our lesson on aplusstudents.ca. So if you want to go back to recap or to just go over the lessons, then we're working from aplusstudents.ca. All right, so homophones. The meaning of homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different spelling and meaning. So it's words that sounds the same, right? So the sound is the same. So it sounds the same, but the meaning as well as the spelling are different, right? So once again, homophones are words that sound the same, but the meanings as well as the spellings of these specific words are different, right? And if we think or even look at a few homophones, right? And then one of it being, let's go to these ones. So a few of the examples of homophones are, for example, red, right? So we have red and red. So the first red, let me circle it. So the first red, which is this one over here, this indicates the color, right, of red. It's like a color. So it indicates a specific color, right? And then we have this one, which is red. And it's basically, it means you are reading a book, right? So we have red. So this is examples. We have red, and red, it basically means a specific color. And then we have red. And red is basically when you are reading a book or something, right? So it's basically red it's like saying, it's like the past tense of reading. Read a book. All right, then we have right. and right. So right and right. And if we look at right and right and the meaning of right and right, so the first right, the meaning of right is when you are basically writing something down with a pen or pencil, right? So you're writing on pencil with on paper, either with a pencil, with a pen, with a color, or something, right? It's like writing something down. You can either be writing words, or in your journal, right? And then we have right. And right can either refer to your right hand, your left hand, or right can also mean direction. It can either mean direction or where you have left hand or right hand. Then we have chili, right? So chili is, and then we have chili. So chili and chili. So the first word chili, it refers to it being cold. We can say being cold, let's say being ice cold. So cold, and then we have the other chili, which is, let's say, a very strong spicy pepper. It's like saying it's a spicy pepper. So that is basically chili and chili. Then we have see and see, right? Then we have see where you can see, you look with your eyes. It's like I see something. And then we have sea, which is the ocean, right? And then we have flu and flu. So the first word flu, which is if lu, right? This flu, it refers to when we are ill, we have a cold, we are under the weather, right? That is what the first flu means. And then we have flu, which is FLEW, and flew is the past tense of flying. Then we have rain, rain, R-A-I-N, rain. And this rain, it refers to, let's say, it's to do with the weather. The clouds get heavy, bad weather, and now it starts to rain, right? It's like droplets of water that is basically coming from the sky or the clouds, like we would say. And then rain, it's when you are ruling. So it's to do with rulers, reigning, usually kings and queens. And then we have ant and ant, ant and ant. And the first ant, which is A-N-T, is a tiny black little, is it insect or something, that you find crawling around, especially when they're after sweetness. And then we have ant, which is either the sister of your mom or the sister of your dad, or basically somebody who we refer to as also a caregiver other than our parents. And then we have male and male, right? So the first male, which is MAIL, is, for example, letters that you receive or letters that you send. And then male, which is MALE, refers to either man or woman. So this male means it's a man. It's to do with the gender that you are. All right, so basically this is homophones, and we say that the meaning of homophones are words that sounds the same, but they have different spellings and meanings. And then we went over a few examples of the different homophones as well as its meaning. All right, so we're going back to the A plus students. We're going back to A plus students.ca, the tutorial page, and we're going into our first lesson, homophones with pictures. So once again, homophones are words that sounds the same, but have different spelling and meaning, right? So homophones are words that sounds the same, but they have different spellings and meanings. So if we look at a few examples, right, of homophones, my friends and I buy lunch at school. So the word buy, which is B-U-Y. So we buy lunch at school, B-U-Y. This first buy, it means to pay for something. So it's either you buy lunch, you go to the shop, you buy groceries, you go where you go to the cinema and you buy popcorn, right? And in order for you to get something, you need to pay money. So you buy. So buy means to pay for something. And then we also have another word which is buy, which is B-Y. Then we all eat together by the tree. And this word by, B-Y, means it refers to near. So it's like if we want to, for example, say we ask a question like, oh, so where are we going to sit? You can either say we're going to sit by the tree, right? Which is close by the tree, near the tree, or basically at the tree. So that is the word by. Then we have by, which is B-Y-E, right? And this bye is short for goodbye. It's again goodbye. So instead of saying goodbye, most people just say bye. So we say bye to each other when the bell rings. So we say bye to each other when we leave. We say bye to each other when we are going our separate ways, right? So you're saying goodbye, you're saying bye. So that is basically three different words that sounds the same, but the spelling are different as well as the meanings of these words are different. And we call them homophones, right? We call them homophones. And once again, homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different spellings as well as meaning. So now if we look at the picture, because remember the first lesson says homophones with pictures. So if we look at the first picture, right? It says, which word matches the picture? So which word matches the picture? So if we look at different words that will be able to match this picture, right? And then we will have, for example, blue, or we have blue. So if we look at this picture, right? What word or which word matches the picture between the first word blue or the second word blue? All right, so if we were to select the word that matches the picture, then we would say it is blue. That is correct. And blue refers to a specific color, right? And here we basically just see the blue color. It's even showing that they are painting it blue. So blue. So it's not this one, because this one, blue, is basically the past tense of blow. So which word matches the picture that we see in front of us? I'm gonna give two words, which is maybe flu or flu. So flu or flu. if you look at the three birds, probably up in the sky or wherever they are they doing? Is it flew or is it flew? So the first word flew, F-L-U or F-L-E-W. So if we look at the specific words, right? We say that the first word flu, which is F-L-U, it basically refers to if you either have a cold, right? So it either shows, this gives us the idea that you either have a cold or you are not well. You are a bit under the weather. We need to medicate you, take you to the doctor or something like that. So you have the flu. So you basically have a cold, you are sick. And then we have flu, right? It is the past tense of fly or flying, right? So you're flying up in the sky. It's either we say birds fly or I am flying in an airplane or in a helicopter, right? So that is the word flew. Well done. So flew basically is the past tense of flying. Birds fly in the sky. Then if we look at the next word, right? We need to choose between male or male. So we need to choose between male or male. So we need to choose between male or male, right? So if we look at this envelope that we see in front of us, so the envelope in front of us, is that male, which is M-A-I-L, or male, which is M-A-L-E? And the first male, it is basically letters. We can either say letters received or sent, right? And this male refers to a man, right? And it's specific gender. So if it's not female, then it's male. If it's not a woman, then it's a man. If it's not a girl, then it's a boy. So this is basically a male, man, boy, right? But male. So which means that it is this one, male. Oopsie. It's this one. All right, so it's male, M-A-I-L. All right, and that male, you send letters to somebody from the post office or you receive it at the post office. All right, so now we're going to our test, right? We're going to a test where we have to select the different homophones with the picture. So let's go to the test. So if we look at the picture, it says which word matches the picture. So which word matches the picture? Is it the first one, which is meet, M-E-E-T, or meat, M-E-A-T? This looks like a piece of steak or lamb shank. So is this meat, which is M-E-E-T, or meat, meat? All right, so if we select the correct word, and then we're going to say it is the second word. So the second word is correct because the second word, it is meat, right? The first word, meat, it is where you are either linking up with somebody. You can either link up with somebody for the first time, it's like meet, or we're about to have a meeting, so we need to gather in the, let's say, in the office, right, and meet with each other. And then the second meat is referred to either piece of steak, chicken, lamb shank. It's to do with food. So meat is correct. So well done. Which word matches the picture? So if we look at the picture, right, it looks like a little house, different rooms or different windows. Is it in, which is I double N, or in, which is I N? In, I double N, or in, I N? So if we look at the first word in, right, the first word in, it refers to either a motel, right? Either a, it's not necessarily a hotel, but it's like a motel where it is more a bit affordable than going to a more fancier hotel. It's like a, nowadays we call it a B&B, right? So that is the in. And then we have the second word in, meaning that it's, if you, it's not out, then it's in. It's like saying inside, go in, right? So that is the second word in. So the first word, once again, is in, which refers to a motel, refers to, let's basically say a hotel, but more affordable one, or a B&B. So which means that we're going to choose the first one, which is the in or an in, where people would want to stay overnight or for a weekend, depending. So in is correct, the first in. So if you have or selected the first in, then well done. We need to match the picture with the words at the bottom. Is it night, which is Knight, or night, as in Night? We need to choose the correct word to match the picture. The first word, if we look at the first word, right? Night. So the first word, night, it basically gives us the idea that it is to do with soldiers, right? That is either fighting to protect the kingdom, fighting to protect their country or something, right? So that is a knight, it's like soldiers. And then we have night, which is the second one, Night, meaning if it's not day, then it is night, which means that we are choosing the first one. So if you said option one, night with the K, then that is correct. So well done. So now we are up at the next one, which is like which word matches the picture. If we look at the coin in front of us, right? This is a $1 coin. So we need to say which or select the correct word that matches the coin. Is it cent, which is SENT, or cent, which is CENT? So we need to choose the correct one. SENT or CENT. All right, so the first word, right, sent with S-E-N-T, it is, for example, like we spoke about mail, right? So it's either where you send or receive something. So sent, it is where you release it, you are giving it to somebody, right? It is being taken to the next person, right? And then sent at the bottom, it is to do with money, um, coins. So that is the cent. So we are choosing the second one, cent, because this is a $1 or 1 cent. Well done. If we look at the picture, right, is it the first one, which is clothes, or is it the second one, which is clothes? Clothes or clothes? We need to choose the correct word that matches the picture. So is it option 1, which is clothes, or option 2, which is clothes? And if we look at the option 1, clothes, right? It is basically garments or items that we wear, right? Either to cover ourselves. And then we have close, right? Which means that it is the opposite of open. You don't open it, but you close it. It's like shutting it. Which means that if we choose the correct picture, then yes, we are choosing option 1. So well done. If you said clothes option 1, then that is correct. All right, then we have dear or dear. We look at the picture. Dear, is it D-E-E-R or D-E-A-R? Dear, dear. So we need to choose the correct word that matches the picture. And if we look at the first word deer, right, then it refers to an animal, right? And then the second one is where people use it either to identify or call somebody, hi dear, or when you are writing a letter, it's like the opening part of the lesson or the opening greeting of a lesson, we'll be like, dear, right? Dear Macy, dear Anna, dear John. So if we choose the correct dear, then yep, we are choosing option 1, which is D-E-E-R, which refers to an animal. So well done. All right, so now we're going on to the second lesson where we're going to identify homophones. And once again, we said homophones are words that sounds the same, but they have different spellings and meanings. So it's words that sounds the same, but the spellings and the meanings are different. So we need to identify the homophone. So we're going to select the homophone of blue. Red and yellow leaves blue down the street. Red and yellow leaves blue down the street. So we need to choose a word that is the homophone of blue, the color blue. So if we look at the sentence, red and yellow leaves blue down the street. So if we choose the homophone of the word blue, then we're going to choose blue. And we said blue is the past of blow. It's like blowing the leaves are blowing or the leaves blue, right? So that is what the word means. So blue and blue. So even if I were to write it down, this is homophones, blue or blue. Words that sounds the same, but the spelling and the meanings are different. Then we have to select the homophone of road. 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 I saw a raccoon crossing the road last night. So I saw a raccoon crossing the road last night. So road, we need to select the word road within the sentence that matches the homophone road, which is RODE. All right, so if we select the correct word, and then we're going to select road, right? Because the homophones are road, it's like ride, and road, which is like the street, right? So road and road. So that is our homophones. All right, then we have it's. It's. We need to select the homophone of it's. We should go inside because it's raining. So we should go inside because it's raining. All right, so if we select the correct word, the homophone of it's within the sentence, and then we are going to say we should go inside because it's raining, and then we're going to choose this word. So it's and it's. So this means it is, which is a contraction, and this is just referring specifically to something. It's. All right. So it's, like we said, specifically to something, belonging to something. So now we're going to our test, right? Where we are going to identify homophones within the sentence. We need to select the homophone of blue, which is BLEW, blue. The new bridge in Richmond is blue. So does the homophone blue go with new or blue? So new option 1 or blue option 2. So we need to select the homophone of blue. And if we select the homophone of blue within the sentence, we're going to choose option 2, which is blue, which is the color blue. So well done. Now we need to select the homophone of bold. Bold. Ronnie bold as for the cost of the boat. So bold. Is it the first word bold or the second word boat? We need to select the homophone of bold. Ronnie bold as for the cost of the boat. And if we look at the first homophone, which is build, right? Build is when you're either building a house or you are building a structure or putting up a structure, right? And then the second build, which is this one, it is where they charge you for something. So even if you go to a restaurant, then they bill you for the food that you eat. So you are billed for the food that you eat. And in this case, they are billed for the cost of the boat. So they need to pay for the cost, or they need to pay for the boat. We need to select the homophone of wood. Wood, W-O-U-L-D, wood. So in the winter, we burn wood in the fireplace. Wood in the fireplace. Is it option 1, which is winter, or option 2, which is wood? And if we look at this homophone wood, right? It's like saying, oh, I would go to the birthday party with you. Right? It's like in agreement, would. And in the second wood, it is or either planks or it is logs or whatever that they are burning in order to make the fireplace. So wood is correct. Well done. We need to select the homophone of past or past. The car passed us on the street. The car passed us on the street. So is it the word past or street? So the first word past, right? It refers to something or things that happened already, right? It happened already. And then we have this past, right? It's where you are, if they saying the car passed us on the street, and then it means that they are driving past you, right? They are overtaking you in the street. So we're choosing past. P-A-S-S-E-D. All right. So now we are going to use the correct homophone. The new bridge in Westford is. The new bridge in Westford is. Is it wood? So we need to choose between the word, is it wood or is it wood? So the new bridge in Westford is wood, which is W-O-U-L-D, or W-O-O-D, wood. It's like saying it is made up of. And if we choose the correct one, then we can say it is wood. It's like saying it is made up of wood. So wood is the correct word. I always warn you when bad weather is coming. So we have warn, which is W-A-R-N, but another word, or let's say the homophone of the word warn, is where it's W-O-R-N. It's like it's the past of wear. It's like I'm wearing your clothes. And then Rick billed us for the cost of the boat. So billed us for the cost of the boat, meaning that he charged us, meaning that we had to pay for the boat. Billed. Money was asked. We had to pay money for the cost of the boat. Billed. All right. So now we're going to our test where we are going to use the great homophones. Jenny. Is it Jenny 8, which is option 1, or Jenny 8, option 2, and apple for lunch? If we look at the first word 8, then it refers to a number that is after 7, a number that is before 9. And then we have the second one, which is 8, and it's the past tense of eat. I ate, meaning that in the past I ate, now I'm eating. So we need to select or complete the sentence with the correct homophones. Jenny ate an apple for lunch. And if we choose the correct one, then yes, we're saying 8, which is option 2. And 8 is correct, so well done. Complete the sentence with the correct homophones. I write songs about my friends. I write songs about my friends. Is it the first word, right? Which kind of shows us either directions, it shows us left or right, either left hand or right hand. Or the second one, where you either write personal things in the diary, writing a letter to somebody. So write. So in this case, I write songs about my friends, which means that this person is writing it down either in a book or a journal. And then we walk through the yard of the school. So through. So through. Is it option 1, THROUGH, through, or THREW, which is the opposite of throw, to throw something? Not the opposite, the past of to throw something. So through is the past of throw. To throw or through. So we walk through the yard. It's like going through something. So we're going to go with the first option. We walk through the yard after school. So if you say through, then well done. Well done. All right. So far that was good, right? So we did our chapter on homophones and we went over the lesson of homophones with pictures, identifying homophones, and we used the correct homophones, right? So we said homophones are also words that sound the same, but the spelling and the meanings are different, right? So the spelling is different as well as the meaning of the words are different. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson, grade 3s on homophones. Thank you very much for joining the class. Thank you very much for interacting. Thank you for being involved. You should have an amazing evening further. Goodbye.